Alright, hey, what's going on there, guys? Earthmaster here. It is July 31st, 2018, 4:22 p.m. Last day of July, and fire season is in full blast here in California and also many other states along the western part of the United States, and it's looking pretty bad for this fire season. We're not even through with the official fire season for this area yet. In fact, if anything, the peak of the fire season increases throughout the month of August and September as we happen to get winds shifting and whatnot due to the weather in the next couple months here. But it's definitely been a bad season so far with a pretty large fire in Northern California. But this here is just a Google map of specific fires around the state here in California. You can see a couple ones marked in gray. Now those are indicating that they have been contained. The fires that are marked in red are active burning fires without 100% containment. So I'm just going to cover a couple of these bigger fires that have burned and created a whole lot of havoc here in Northern California. This fire right here, the Carr Fire, has made national news, if not world news. Definitely a big fire. So far, the last update I've seen, it's the 7th most destructive wildfire in California state history. The latest information here from the Calfire website here, I'll leave links and stuff like that in the description below, that way you guys can check it out as well. But I wanted to do an update in these fires here, specifically the Carr Fire northwest of Anderson, which was just burning into the city limits of Redding a couple days ago there. Pretty scary situation there, where Channel 7 KRCR out of Redding had to evacuate their studios at the request of corporate, I believe. And yes, they left their studios and just left a webcam on their air signal. It's pretty crazy to watch there. But it did burn into portions of Redding, California, and all around Whiskeytown Lake. There's still mandatory evacuations in certain areas. We'll cover that here in just a second. But for now, 110 acres, over 110,000 acres. And it's at 27% containment, which is a lot better than what it was for quite a while. We were seeing 3 to 10% for the longest time, and now they're getting a handle on it. But it is burning in some really forested type area up there. Lots of dry fuel, lots of trees to burn, lots of manzanita type bush that burns extraordinarily hot, and ultimately little small communities up there as well that had to be evacuated. Far as I know, the last update on fatalities on this Carr Fire is at 8 confirmed fatalities. One was a firefighter, a bulldozer operator. 3 that I know of is a grandma and her 2 grandchildren. I can't remember their ages, but they died unfortunately with this fire. And a couple other there's also 20 people still missing that could be associated with this fire in and around the Redding area. So hopefully those fatality numbers won't go up, but you know, you never know, especially if people decided to stay back and protect their homes, or attempt to protect their homes. You know, it's not a good outlook if they did, because this fire was crazy, folks. I'm sure you've seen the tornado type vortex that formed from this fire. It was crazy. It ripped trees out of the ground, wrapped metal around poles or around trees. It was just chaotic looking. But 110,000 acres, 27% containment. Taking a real quick look at the incident page here. Shows you the last update, which was today, 11:36 a.m. You can see the containment numbers right there once again. Structures threatened still within this fire is 2,546. As of right now, 884 residences, along with these numbers right here, have been destroyed. That's 4 commercial structures, 348 outbuildings. All these right here have been destroyed. 169 residences, 5 commercial structures, and 51 outbuildings have been damaged. Okay, so this is kind of separate, but they were nonetheless associated in damage with this Carr Fire. But completely destroyed homes, leveled, unsalvageable, 884 right there. Pretty significant number nonetheless. Evacuation orders are in effect for certain areas. I'm not going to go over that right now. I will leave the links to this in the description below. Here are the evacuation centers where people can go to if they are in the mandatory evacuation zones. There's definitely a couple set up around the area. Right now these folks are only listing 2 firefighter fatalities, but we know that is just firefighters associated with the Cal Fire agency. That does not include the fatalities there in the public. The cause of these firefighter fatalities, these folks are indicating a mechanical failure of the vehicle. Total fire personnel 3,607. Now I'm not 100% sure that includes out-of-state agencies, as we have been getting lots of firefighters, National Guard, people even all the way from Florida to help fight this fire out here in Northern California. I did see a number floating around, 12,000 people helping out, joining the fight against this fire from all sorts of different states around the country. Total fire crews, I believe these are just Cal Fire people, Cal Fire personnel and agencies there. 334 engines, fire engines there. And I'm sure this also includes the incarcerated folks there that work for the fire camps. They're out there as well trying to help fight the fire. But it's pretty crazy. It's still burning up into the mountainous area where there's lots of trees, lots of like I said, lots of fuel. There's plenty of information right here associated with this fire on this website right here. That's Cal Fire's website. That's going to be fire.ca.gov. There's another map I want to show you guys associated with the Carr Fire, which is still burning up here. This is an overview of the area. You got Shasta County out here outlined in the blue section. This is Northern California. Let me zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see exactly where I'm at. You got the Coast Range over here near Eureka, Crescent City up to the north here, Susanville, a couple other fires burning up there in Lake County. Just pretty crazy. But covering real quick in this region right here with the Carr Fire, it originally started from a mechanical failure, I guess. A guy was hauling a fifth wheel, some type of trailer, travel trailer, and it had a flat tire or a blowout, and supposedly the rims on the pavement started to spark somehow, or it's possible he pulled over alongside the road because of that flat tire and ignited grass or dry fuel underneath the vehicle. It hasn't been officially confirmed yet how it happened, but you know, far as if it was from the rim or if it was from something underneath. But it was definitely associated with some type of travel trailer that started this fire up here. Originally started just north up here, folks, of Whiskeytown Lake. That's Whiskeytown Lake right here. You can see it underneath the pinkish color right there. Beautiful lake, beautiful pine trees, gorgeous area. I've been up there quite a few times, and this is a region that I take, this road, Highway 299, that I take personally whenever I go over to the coast which has been quite a while, but that's the area I take, and now it's just it's horrible. Anyway, originally started up here just north of the lake and burned its way down towards the valley, down towards Redding, and that's where they finally got a little bit of containment on it right there before it fully got into the city. Well, it did get into the city limits, but before it made its way too far into the area. But a lot of communities up here, up in the mountains there, inside city limits of Redding, got burned and destroyed there. And they got quite a few repopulation centers out here helping out folks. It's just a horrible situation. But anyway, with this containment, all this area in pink has been burned and destroyed. There are no active hot spots or fires being detected on satellite. Actually, I take that back. There is a little one being detected right there. These little dots are satellite indicated. Let me show you guys. Satellite detected hotspots. That's these little dots right here. You can see mostly confined over here to the complete west side of the main line of the fire. But over here where the fire previously was, there is, looks like another hot spot there being detected by the satellite. Just up in the mountains there, it looks like. Hopefully those folks, fire folks, I'm sure they're aware of it, and getting to put that out, because we definitely don't need something sparking back up and igniting this fire even further in that totally opposite direction. As you head up here to the north, we're seeing a couple more hot spots indicated by the satellite system there. And all this area is pretty much just wilderness area, trees, mountains, and no doubt folks have cabins up there. They have, hunting clubs. I'm sure there's people living off the grid up there. Not even, well, I'm sure they're aware that there's a fire due to the smoke, but they may not even have internet access as to what's going on. But it's continuing to burn to the north, and mainly the main band over here to the west over here. Significant fire signature is being detected from this satellite view over here towards Deadwood. French Gulch right here is originally right here where it started, right around that area, just north of the Whiskey Town Lake area, and that's where it burned down south. It kind of burning over here towards to the west now. It's just kind of weird how it went down this way and then decided to burn back that way. But I think it's got a little bit slower pace moving up into this region. A lot of green trees, but still a lot of brush up there. And it's these firefighters, they really can't fight this fire at night by air, tankers and stuff like that. It's got to be, all that stuff has got to be done during the daytime. And there's no doubt they got engines and ground crews definitely working on it. But that's French Gulch right here. Lots of hot spots being detected over here, continuing on Highway 299 that runs right along here. See Highway 299, and also near Eureka Way. 299, it's just driving through there. You can see the road. It travels through the mountains, and a beautiful area. But now I can only imagine what it looks like. I've seen pictures, and it, personally, I don't know if I'd want to drive through there. It's just going to be pretty devastating looking now. But yeah, we got these new hot spots being picked up ahead of the main fire line, and that's got to do with embers being blown around, the wind, and it's with only, what is it, 27% containment, I believe. Yeah, with only 27% containment, it's definitely going to be burning for a while. I don't see this thing going out anytime soon. I'm sure these folks are working as hard as they can to get it done, but it's definitely moving uphill and into some more mountainous, dry trees and brush region. Taking a look down south here. Communities such as Ono and Igo, I believe, are still under evacuation orders, and these folks are down south here, I believe. Okay, there's Igo. Let's see here. It's possible they may be clear of this region, but you definitely want to double check if you do have any more inquiries on that area. There's Igo right there. Let's see here. I know there's a town of Ono around here somewhere as well. But anyway, yeah, so down here it doesn't look like there's any more hot spots being detected by this satellite. You know, it's not to say something's going to flare up, but just to the north here, northwest, we're seeing some more flare-ups of that region. But overall, you know, pretty grim picture for this large fire that's continuing to burn and make its way up into areas like, it looks like Deadwood region, a little ways away from Lewiston, but definitely headed in that direction as well. And this map right here is actually a really cool map. It's from local news here, Action News Now, channel 1224. On their web page, you can find this specific interactive map where you can go and check out what I just showed you. It's got a bunch of different layers and stuff that you can include in it as well. Active burning, last 24 and last 24 to 48. It shows animal evacuation centers, road closures, a lot of different stuff here, so including wind speed and whatnot. I didn't want to go into too much of that because you can pretty much clutter it if you add too many layers on this map here. But like I said, this here is a website, actionnewsnow.com. You can find it underneath their content section. It's going to be called well, this here is a Carr Fire activity map, but you can excuse me, you can also look up some other fires out there as well that's burning around the state. But getting back to those, like I said, the Carr Fire is a big one. There's also a couple big ones over here towards the Clear Lake region in California, and you can see areas that have been burned right there already and that are continuing to burn near Lakeport, Largo, it looks like, Witter Springs, Van, Upper Lake. All these regions right here are having to deal with this big fire. Covering this one real quick, the River Fire. They're also called the Mendocino Complex. Looks like 27,000 acres being burned so far and only 8% containment. There's definitely some evacuation orders being placed into effect as well in that region. This is also another way that I take going over here towards the coast. Highway 20 that runs up along Clear Lake. Beautiful drive. You got Mount Canocti over here, old volcano within this region. But Highway 20, beautiful area going through there. Now looks like part of it, a good portion of it, is being burnt up here with that fire. But I do want to check this here real quick on the River Fire, or the Mendocino Complex Fire. Once again, numbers 27,000 and 8% contained. Structures threatened are over 12,000. So far, 7 residences destroyed and 3 outbuildings. Very small, very minimal compared to the Carr Fire up north. Here's all the agencies and whatnot that are fighting that fire. Looks like over 2,000 fire personnel helping out. 206 fire engines involved in that as well. I mean, we got a lot of out-of-state folks in there as well, which I don't believe they're including. But definitely definitely trying to get a jump and handle on that one as well, only at 8% containment. Just to the north of that one as well, we have the Ranch Fire, part of the Mendocino Complex Fire, the system right here. That has burned over 47,000 acres and only 10% contained. This area up here as well, I know personally, is very wooded. Lots of oak, lots of manzanita as well up in this region. As you get into the green, you get into the forestry area, and that's just lots of wilderness, lots of little camps and stuff like that up there as well. I'm sure people got cabins up there, and probably not anymore. I mean, it's just heading up into the mountains as well, or up into that wooded area at 10% containment. Let's hope these guys get a handle on that rather quickly. The incident map here. Structures threatened with this fire are over 10,000. I'm wondering if they're including this as a, yeah, I guess they would include it as one fire. I see 7 residences and 3 outbuildings being destroyed right there. Numbers, once again, over 2,000 personnel with this complex fire. Ranch Fire and the other one, the river fire down here, I guess kind of being combined as one, but nonetheless 2 separate ones. Let's hope these things don't join as one big fire. That would not be good. Yeah, pretty scary. And those kind of like the main 3 fires burning right now in Northern California. We do have another one up here, up in Lassen County near Eagle Lake. Let's see if I can find that here. That one there looks like a small one, 35 acres at 85% containment. That is good that it didn't get any bigger than that. This one here is another big one, 16,000 acres, 32% containment. It looks like they're getting a handle on it. That's near the lake up here. Beautiful region near Eagle Lake up in Lassen County. We got Lassen Volcano down here just to the west of that area. Doesn't look like we have any fires burning within that national park area, but there's a little one down here, 167 acres at 95% containment, so they're getting a good handle on that. But most of the fires are those, or most of the big ones I should say, is that Carr Fire, which is still burning up here. You can see the outline of it, pretty large scar on the map. And the 2 big ones down here near Clear Lake and Lakeport, California. So anyway, those numbers are probably going to go up, you know, far as the structural damage, and also outbuildings being destroyed and acres being burned. It's only going to go up, unfortunately. The good thing is we do not have any major weather systems coming in that would pick up the wind and create dangerous, even worse dangerous conditions for the firefighters in the near future. So hopefully they can get a handle on that. I mean, July, August, it's pretty stagnant. The air out here is absolutely horrible, and it's humid. I mean, California doesn't get super humid, but it feels humid. It's hot. I have ashes all over everything, my car, my bike. Last night I was able to see ashes falling out of the sky with a flashlight. It looked like snow, you know, really small snow flakes. So it is horrible all throughout Northern California. And taking a look at this map here real quick, see if you can see, this here is a 1 kilometer visible satellite. You got some of the fires burning up here. These are also clouds being picked up. Small little system, high clouds, mid-level clouds maybe as well. But this area down here in the valley is just thick smoke. Every night, pretty much, when the sun goes down or when it rises, we have a red sun for about an hour or 2 before it disappears off the horizon. And in the daytime, like right now, it's pretty much like a partly cloudy day, but with an orange glow to it here in the valley. It's definitely not recommended to anyone to be outside unless they have to. So yeah, I was looking at this radar real quick here. I don't believe that we're seeing any type of rainfall. Most likely what you're seeing here is some pyrocumulus clouds being built up. You got Redding up here, Whiskey Town in this region as well, Highway 299 going through Old Shasta, French Gulch, all this area burnt. These are just pyrocumulus type clouds being picked up with that fire, and also down here as well. There's Clear Lake over here, Lakeport. These are pyrocumulus type clouds. This here is most likely just some high clouds being picked up, or some really heavy dense smoke being picked up as well. And this is just some ground clutter and whatnot from from the radar. But other than that, folks, it's not a good day for folks here in California. Just horrible fires still, but good thing is they're getting a handle on some of them. The biggest one, once again, being the Carr Fire right here, over 100,000 acres. This number is going to grow. Right now it stands at the 7th largest fire, or the 7th most destructive fire in California history. And with all this unlimited amount of fuel, no rain in the forecast, and it heading up into the mountains like that, into some heavily wooded area, it's just, that number is going to increase big time. But like I said, 27% containment with the Carr Fire, it's a plus. It's a lot better than 5 to 10%. So let's hope they can get a handle on that real quick. I know folks are out there working hard, and I'm sure everyone's doing what they can to get this thing under control. So anyway, folks, I just want to give you guys a quick update on that, on the big fires here in California. I will post a couple links to everything that you've seen here in the video, and we'll go with that and get this video up on the channel. We are live streaming earthquake data and volcanic activity in Hawaii on the live stream, so if you get a chance, coming over and say hi. All right, folks, peace out. Have a good day and try to stay safe out there.